Hi, good morning, and welcome back to our class for today in Increased Investigation and Immersion. Our topic for today is data collection procedures. What are the data collection procedures, whether qualitative or quantitative? So, let's start. By the way, again, I am Sir J.M. Candas, and I'm here because I love research and I want to share my ideas to you. The real question in our topic for today is what is data collection and why is it so important in research? So let's start with a quote. So here it goes. As my dear friend Zig Ziglar says, an author and a motivational speaker, you don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. As a journey towards in our end of our research, I think it's high time for us to use this research or to use our knowledge to be great rather than dreaming about being great. So let's start. Let's game a play of charades via Google Meet. I'll be giving you keywords and you should guess the answer from our previous topic. And please go to your corresponding groups. But at the same time, your classmate will guess the answers for our keywords. So let's start. First word, numbers. For the group 2, words. What are these keywords? For group 3, questionnaire. What is connected in the data collection gathering? Number 4, newscaster. And lastly, number 5, science laboratory. I hope you enjoy our play of charades. And while we have our introductory activity for our topic for today, let's go a little deeper in our topic. So please read each statement carefully. Identify if the statement is non-probability sampling or probability sampling. Write your answers in your notebook. Then again, ano ang nating diskarte? Please screenshot my screen for today and at the same time, please answer it in your notebooks or in your textbooks. After we had our two activities, I guess you have now a little background in our topic for today. So, what's new on data collection procedure? What is really data collection procedure? Do you remember my first question to you guys? What is data collection procedure and why is it really important in our research? So, let's have a little activity. This is our little activity. Please refer to your modules for the what's new part and there's a description there and how will you answer it. Then again, our discarte is please screenshot or look on your modules, but at the same time, send an image of your answers to me via Google Meet, via Google Drive, or to my social media accounts. Now let's have a discussion. Let's dig in deep in our data gathering procedure. But first, we need to first tackle statistics. What is statistics? Sir, number na naman ba yan? I promise you, pagkatapos ng topic natin to, mas madali ang data gathering procedure, mas madali ang statistics. I will be using layman's terms or pinaisin natin ang mga topic natin para mas maintindihan natin at mas ma-apply natin. So, what is statistics? A branch of mathematics dealing with the collection of analysis, presentation, interpretation, and conclusion of data, while biostatistics is a branch of statistics where statistical techniques are used on biomedical data to reach a conclusion. But let's focus on statistics. It's all about numbers. It's all about collection of data. These numbers are really important in our research. So we have now discussed statistics. Without data, there is no statistics. So what is data? Data is a collection of facts such as values or measurements. It can be numbers, words, measurements, observation, or even just description of things. Kung ano lang ang nakita mo, pwedeng maging data yun. Like for example, may nakita kang dumaan na sasakyan. Pwede mong kuhanin kung ilan ang sasakyan na dumadaan Sa baryo nyo, data na yon. So, huwag kayong matakot na naririnig ang statistics at data. These are very applicable in our lives. So, there are two datas. What? First is the constant data and the variable data. So, paglabanin natin, constant versus variable. Always remember that constant data is not changing. Hindi siya nag-iiba. Siya lang yung nagstay. Hindi siya umalis. Hindi siya nang iwan. Hindi siya nagbago. But then again, variable is changing. Lagi siyang nagbabago. Pwede siyang magbago. Pwede siyang mag-iba. So, in the latter of our discussion, we will talk about variables and constant and different types of data in statistics. So, let's go down deep. There are a lot of kinds of variables. It varies in age, sex, income, expenses, population size, family, educational achievement, anything under the sun, pwede siyang maging variable. Imagine, even yung measurement ng kamay at paa mo, pwede silang variable. So, what does this mean? In the day, ang data, hindi lang siya basta-basta numerical. Basta nakakatulong sa research mo, pwede siya maging data. And there are 5 types of variables. Independent, dependent, moderator, controlled, intervening. Nakakatakot silang pakinggan. Alam ko, naiintindihan ko. Pero gawin nating simple ang buhay. First, independent versus dependent. Ano to? Independent is not affected with change. Hindi siya nag-iiba. Sa research natin, may mga variable tayong hindi nag-iiba. For example, studying. Hindi nyo magigets ang studying kung hindi natin pagkukumpara sa dependent variable. Dependent variables affected with change. Nag-iiba siya. Pwede siyang magbago. Like for example, sa independent variable natin is studying, ang dependent variable natin is ang score mo sa exam nyo. Kung hindi ka kung syempre mag-aaral tayo pag may exam tayo. So, sa dependent variable, pwedeng mag-iba ang test score mo, ang score mo, kung nag-aral ka ba o hindi, or konti lang ang pinag-aralan mo. But at the same time, andun pa rin ang pag-aaral. Sa degree lang, gaano kalalim ang pag-aaral. Doon papasok ang dependent kung anong score ang nakuha mo. So, we go now to moderator and control. Moderator is a cause and effect. Ilang oras ka bang nag-aral? See, nakita nyo? Ang independent variable natin is nag-aral. Ang dependent variable natin is depende kung nag-aral ka ba o hindi. Sa moderator naman, ilang oras ka ba nag-aral para exam? Pwede ba siyang maka-apekto? Sabi nga sa kanya, ang moderator is cause and effect. So, ibig sabihin, kung ilang oras kang nag-aral, kung ilang oras mo nakuha, ibig sabihin nito, kung kung ilang oras kang, kung mas mahaba ang oras ng pag-aaral mo at nakuha mo siya, mas tataas ang score mo. You see? Dependent variable is affected with change. Independent is nag-aral ka. So that is moderator or controlled. That is controlled, my dear friends. Sa controlled variable naman, there is no cause and effect. What is that? Study habits. Ang example natin, study habits. Kahit meron tayong study habits. So, ibig sabihin, nakokontrol natin. So, bigyan ko kayo ng mas mahabang example. Ang independent variable natin is nag-aaral. Ang dependent natin is ang test score. Siyang effect ng ng independent variable. Sa moderator naman, ito ang cause and effect. Kung ilang oras ka ba nag-aral? Andun pa rin ang pag-aaral, pero ilang oras ba? Next, sa controlled is study habits. Yes, nag-aral ka nga na mahaba, na-gets mo ba? At the same time, ready ka ba? At the same time, on time ka ba? Baka naman inaantok ka. Diyan papasok ang controlled variable. Ibig sabihin, by the word itself, controlled, nako-control mo ang mismong variable. Next is intervening variable. What is intervening variable? Neither controlled or moderator but cannot be neglected. Sa gitna siya. So, ibig sabihin, hindi natin makokontrola, hindi rin natin sila mamomoderate. So, anong ibig sabihin? Nakakatawa man ang aking example, but at the same time, para mas lalo nyo maintindihan. Kung wari, nag-aaral ka, independent, ano ang test score mo? Sa moderator naman, ilang oras ba ang pag-aaral mo? Sa control naman, may study habits ka. Kaso hindi mo na malayan, wag naman sana. Nahulog ka pala sa kanal. So hindi ka nakapag-exam, sayang ang pag-aaral, that is intervening. Kung titignan natin sa graph natin ngayon, in independent variables down to the controlled variable, ang moderator variable, makikita mo na sa asa intervening siya at magiging dependent siya. Ibig sabihin, asa gitna ang intervening ng moderator at controlled. So, sa quantitative, let's go now to quantitative research. There are two types of research. One is quantitative and one is qualitative. Kanina, in our previous slides, pinag-usapan natin ang mga data natin. So now, we will talk about two types of research. But first, we go to quantitative research. What is quantitative research? There are two types of quantitative research, my dear friends. Discrete and continuous. Remember this, padalain natin ang ating buhay. Kapag discrete na quantitative siya, walang decimal point. Whole number siya. Example, number of females and males. Di naman pwedeng 10 females, 10.5 male. So, kalahati lang ba yung katawan niya? Hindi. Whole number siya. In continuous naman, pwede siya maging decimal point. Like age, height, weight, heart rate. Like for example, age. Ilang taon ka na ba? I am 26.10. Bakit 0.10? Ilang 2 months na lang, magbe-birthday na ako. So, height. Pwede kang maging 175 point ganito centimeters. Pwede yun. Decimal point siya. So, ibig sabihin nito, sa quantitative research, sa quantitative data natin, discrete, continuous. Discrete is no decimal or whole number. Continuous is pwede siyang maging decimal point. Ganun lang kadali. Huwag kayong matakot. So, let's go down deep. In quantitative research or data collection, in data collection naman, we gather information that enables one to answer research questions, test hypotheses, and outcomes. But, my dear friends, there are two types of data collection. One is primary data collection, second is secondary data collection. What are these two? Primary, remember this, first-hand experience. As a researcher, ikaw mismo ang gumawa. Example, experiment, survey, questionnaire, interview. For example, sa experiment, naaalala nyo ba yung gumawa tayo ng volcano nung elementary tayo? Tayo mismo ang gumawa nun. So, malalaman natin kapag nag-mix ang baking soda at vinegar, mag-explode siya. Pwede nating i-explain yun by ourselves. Bakit? Kasi nakita natin at ginawa natin siya mismo. Survey. Survey is nakipag-usap tayo, nag-survey tayo sa mga tao, nag-survey tayo sa mga kaklase natin, tayo ang gumawa. Questionnaire, tayo ang gumawa ng mga tanong, series of questions, interview, face-to-face. Hindi naman pwedeng kumuha ka ng secondary na hindi mo experience ang interview. Dapat harapan kayo. Always remember, primary is first-hand experience, while secondary is from other experience and research. Like for example, books. Hindi naman ikaw ang sumulat ng libro. Pero, dahil ginawa niya ang libro at may experience siya sa libro, pwede siya maging secondary data collection. Records, biography, newspapers, published articles, and whatnot. Ibig sabihin lang nito, may ibang tao ang gumawa para dun sa data na yon. So, what are the two types again of data collection? Primary and secondary data collection. So we have talked about data collection on quantitative research. Huwag kayong mag-alala. Masyado bang information overload? Don't worry, my dear friends. Sinimplify na natin yan. Mas madali ang buhay. So don't worry, I will answer all your questions. Just message me on my social media or on my email. So let's go now to qualitative research. You remember, I've told you a while ago, there are two types of research, quantitative and qualitative. So let's go now to qualitative. Qualitative research is exploratory in nature and are mainly concerned with gaining insights and understanding on underlying reasons and motivations. Haba ako, I'm doing research. Pinapadali ko ang buhay ko by saying quantitative is numbers, qualitative is words. Again, quantitative is numbers, qualitative is words. There are three types of qualitative data collection method: interview, focus group discussion, observation. What are these three? Let's talk about them. So, the three types of qualitative research data collection. Interview, meron siyang tatlong types. Unstructured or freehand interview, kung ano lang ang maisip mo, kung ano lang ang nafe-feel mo, yun lang ang tatanong mo. Freehand yun. Wala kang hawak na papel na nag-guide sa'yo. Semi-structured naman, anong pinagkaiba niya sa unstructured? Semi-structured is may hawak kang guide questions, pero wala kang hinihintay na sagot, na tamang sagot. Open-ended questions lahat yan. And structured, gamit-gamit mo sa papel ang survey questionnaire at meron ka lang hinihintay na sagot. Like for example, in like, di ba, you remember our discussion, Likert scale, agree, disagree, strongly agree. Yun ang structured. Sa semi-structured, open-ended question. Kapag unstructured naman, freehand questioning. Okay? Next, focus group discussion. What is focus group discussion and why is it on qualitative data collection? Because in focus group discussion, there's a collective discussion. Ibig sabihin nun, kinukuha natin ng information ng mga kasama natin and mainly 6 to 10 people lang tayo sa focus group discussion natin. And remember, hindi ka pwede mag-focus group discussion kung wala kayong common ground. Ibig sabihin nito, kung wala kayong same interest. That's why you remember, in our research, when we do our titles, we have, we are thinking about our common interest in our group. For example, in food processing B, hindi naman tayo gagawa ng pagpalit ng gulong, di ba? Gagawa tayo ng paano gumawa ng jam, paano gumawa ng toyo, pwede bang gawing ganito ang ganito. So, that means we have a common ground. Next is observation. Dito ang observation, own natin to, sarili natin to, or sa mga group natin. It is written descriptions, video recording, photographs or artifacts, or documentation. In our in our module, there's a detailed and theoretical description about these things, about the words I've told you. But remember, just as I promised, ayoko matakot kayo sa research. That's why I'm telling you, I put it in layman's word kung paano natin siya mas lalong maintindihan, kung paano natin siya pwedeng i-apply sa araw-araw nating buhay. So, after this slide, we will have a small activity. In this activity, you on your notebooks or on our via Google Meet, raise your hand, raise your left hand if it is secondary data collection, raise your right hand if it's primary data collection. So let's start. An artifact, document, diary, manuscript, or other source of information created at the time of a study is it secondary or primary? A training record. Raise your hands. Secondary, primary. A map produced in 2016 showing what land European countries controlled in the world in the 18th century would be considered a primary, secondary, primary. A professional journal discussing the impact of rust on metal would be an example of a secondary, primary. A source created by about an event or time period by someone, secondary or primary. So, did you guys get it na? Mas nakuha ba natin ang ating discussion? So, to sum up our discussion, do you remember our image of a ball pen in our research in our previous topics? Itatry natin siya ngayon. You remember the best ballpen in the world? You see, in our discussion about related literature, kumukuha tayo ng mga gumawa, ideas, na pwede gumuwang ibang taong ideas kung paano gawing best ballpen in the world. That is also data collection procedure. What is that? May ballpen kang hawak at gusto mo siya ma-improve. Anong gagawin mo? You can do survey questionnaires, maybe interviews, or maybe have an experiment or primary source. Mag-experiment ka, ano maganda. Like for example, I remember my in my high school years, dahil marami kaming papel na ginagawa, nag-try ako. Imbis na dinidilaan ko lagi ang kamay ko, nilagay ko sa ballpen ko goma. Kasi dumidikit ang papel. That's an experiment. But also, that's a data collection procedure. Madali lang ang data collection procedure. It's all about our perspective about how we see our topic for today. That's why I always stay on the best ballpen in the world. Why? Because it's already applicable. It's already applicable both theoretically and real world situations. Another example of can I do can I have the best ballpen in the world if gusto ko magsulat underwater? Pwede. You experiment. Or maybe you can ask fishermen. You can ask divers. That's interview. Next question. Sir, what if gusto kong magsulat ng may iba't ibang kulay? Magtanong ka. Mag-data gathering procedure ka. Gamitin mo ang nalaman mo sa research para ma-apply mo to sa best ballpen in the world. So, while we're talking about the best ballpen in the world, let's use our ballpen in Let's use our ballpen in our word search puzzle. We have puzzles in our screen right now. It's not just a puzzle that you will have your answer. There are 10 words there. And with those 10 words, it is connected with our topic for today, data collection procedure. So choose 3 words in out of 10. You need to give me 10 words and give me 3 words with reflection. What have you learned in our subject matter? And we reflect on it. So, I'll be first on bibigyan ko kayo ng bonus, and that is, I can see right now, collection. The word collection. What is the word collection for me? Collection for me, what I've learned right now in our subject matter is in data collection, in our everyday lives, nagko-collect na pala ako ng data na pwede kong gamitin sa research ko. Like for example, gusto kong matutong magluto. So, what will I do? Pupunta ako sa mga secondary sources. Bakit? Kasi wala akong experience pa. In our secondary, maghahanap ako sa YouTube, magbabasa ako ng libro, may mga author. After kong ginawa yon, anong gagawin ko? Mag-experiment ako. Or pwede ako mag-interview ng magaling magluto. So at the same time, in our thinking, pwede pala tayong gumawa ng research sa pagluluto. What is that? The rules or the rules that apply in basic beginner courses in cooking. So you see now, there's a reflection. We go now to our deeper reflection. That means, kahit pala sa mga simpleng bagay, pwede nating malagay ang research, ang data collection procedure in our daily lives. So that means, sir, sa data collection procedure, hindi lang buka research. Yes, hindi sa research. Hindi lang siya research. It's our daily life. So, hindi mahirap ang research. Madali lang siya. Mas, remember this, mas dumadali ang research kapag pinapractice mo siya araw-araw ng buhay mo. Hindi mo lang mapapansin, but your everyday life is research. So, let's go back to the best ballpen in the world. We go back to remember the best ballpen. What's the connection of our topic in the real world? Sir, ballpen na naman? Yes, because my image of a ballpen for me is simply pinapadali niya ang buhay kung paano natin mas lalong maintindihan ang ating pag-aaral sa research. So, first, Di ba, natatandaan nyo sa best ballpen in the world, you collect data in order to produce the best ballpen in the world. That is data collection procedure. So, itry natin siyang i-apply. Sir, pwede po ba ang topic natin ngayon sa physics or physical science? Yes, pwede. You remember my story? Nag-experiment ako dun sa papel para hindi na ako laging gumagamit ng daliri. In physical science, you remember we do it? We experiment in our beautiful science laboratories. So, sir, pwede po ba sa ABM po tayo? Pwede po ba ang research sa entrepreneurship? Yes, pwede. Dahil for example, sa entrepreneurship, gumagawa tayo ng business plan. Inaalam natin ilan ba ang mga tao, ilan ba ang population. That is statistics. In humanities and social sciences, sir, pwede po ba yun? Yes, you remember disciplines and ideas in applied social sciences where we have our topic in counseling? Remember that? We have, that is qualitative research. Pwede natin siyang alamin. In those mere words, we are collecting data. Sir, pwede po ba sa TVL na EIM? Yes, pwede. Why? Because ilan bang amperes yan? Ilan bang watts yan? That is data collection procedure. Oh, sir, food processing po. Pwede. Siyempre, pwede. Bakit? Before ka magluto, inaalam mo muna paano, ano-ano ang gagamitin, anong sangkap ang gagamitin. So you see now, in data collection procedure, it's not all about research. It's all about our real world situations. And that, my friends, how simple our topic for today. Huwag kayong matakot sa module. This, please, do write, do make us a basis in my PowerPoint presentation para mas lalo yung maintindihan. Yes, we have our modules. This is just a supplementary kung paano mo mas lalong maintindihan ang data collection procedure. And that, my friends, is our end of our topic. So, thank you. And if you have any questions, if I cannot accommodate all your questions right now, please feel free to message me on my social media accounts or email me in my Gmail account. And always remember, in this time of pandemic, please always be safe, wear your mask, and do social distancing, and wash your hands. That, my friends, is our topic for today. Good morning.